and we're going to make a difference, not just here in Hoboken, but in the country. So it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce our guest of honor, Andy King. And I just want to recognize another distinguished elected official we have today, Assemblyman Ravi Bhalla.
Thank you so much, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I step off with this? I just want to make sure I don't embarrass myself. But I want to thank you all for coming out here tonight. This is absolutely incredible. This is really phenomenal to see. And what we're out there. I'm doing 2, 3, upwards of 6 of these a day. We're doing everything we can to engage people all over the district, all over the state, letting them know about what we're up to. And what I say is that this here, right now, this is not normal. It's not normal for me to be able to come up 5 months before Election Day and be able to pack rooms, especially outside the district, elsewhere in New Jersey. But I think we all recognize that these are not normal times. These are times that compel us and demand from us to think about what role we can play in taking control over our future of our families, our communities, from our country. And this is what brings us together today, is all of us asking, what can we do? What can we do to get ourselves on a better path? Here's what I'd like to do. Since it's the first time that I've met almost all of you, I want to just take a little time to tell you a little bit about myself. I want to tell you why I decided to do this crazy thing of running for Congress. And I want to tell you how we're going to win this November, beat Tom McCarthy, and take back the House.
Yes. Yes.
I'm running the New Jersey 3rd Congressional District, just south central Jersey, exits 4 to 7. This is the district that gave me and my family every opportunity in life, gave us that chance for the American dream, gave us these opportunities that we tried to seize. I'm the son of immigrants. My parents grew up in South Korea at the end of the Korean War. My dad grew up in an orphanage. He's a survivor of polio. He's someone where the orphanage treated him so poorly that he chose to run away and live homeless on the streets for much of his childhood. My mother grew up in a poor farm family to a single mom. They suffered hunger and famine. She lost brothers and sisters. But this country is where they got the opportunities. This country took a chance on them, invited them in, gave them an education. My dad went on to get a PhD in genetics. He went on to become a renowned scientist, dedicated his entire life to trying to cure cancer and Alzheimer's at a lab in South Jersey. My mom went on and got a nursing degree and was able to be a nurse over the hospital systems in South Jersey. This district gave them that opportunity, gave them a safe place to be able to raise a family, gave me the public school education that gave me a world of opportunities, allowed me to dream big. That public school education allowed me to become a Rhodes Scholar, allowed me to go and get a PhD in international relations. And when I thought about what I wanted to do with my life, I thought about what my parents did, which is that after everything that they went through, they ended up choosing jobs that were about helping people, about trying to save lives. And that's what this was about. That it's no coincidence that my father, who is somebody who is a survivor of polio, went on to then dedicate his life to trying to cure the next great diseases that are afflicting so many people. So for me, I thought my expertise and my interests led me to become a national security expert, led me to become a U.S. diplomat, and I had incredible opportunities to serve this country. I served as an advisor to General Petraeus and General John Allen out in Afghanistan. I was over at the Pentagon as a Middle East advisor in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. And I was served 2 years at the White House at the National Security Council, where I was the Iraq director and a coordinator for the counter-ISIS war. These were amazing opportunities that I had, and I remember the very last day that I was there at the White House, I had the great honor of being able to walk my family into the Oval Office and introduce my parents to the President of the United States, President Barack Obama. And I just remember introducing them all there while I'm holding my then 4-month-old baby boy in my arms. And I looked at that moment, I just took a step back as my mother's speechless as she's shaking his hand, shaking that guy's hand. And I'm just thinking, 3 generations of my family in the Oval Office right here, after everything my family's been through. And I just remember thinking, this is America. And this is what this country is about. This is what we talk about in terms of the possibilities of the greatness of this country. That's why I'm here. For me, I'm now raising my 2 baby boys. I got 2 baby boys. I got a 2.5-year-old and a 10-month-old. So this is clearly a perfect time to run for Congress. It's not crazy at all. I got plenty of sleep. Don't worry. But what I told you so far, that's what I've done with my career. That's how I got to this point. But to really explain to you why I'm standing in front of you right now, I want to share with you one story. My youngest son, my 10-month-old, about a year ago, my wife and I were at the hospital for the final ultrasound before he was born. And we were really excited. We were looking up at the monitor. We love these times where you can see your kid up on the screen while the doctor's doing the measurements. And I remember looking up at the screen, but then all of a sudden, the screen went black. And I looked over at the doctor, and the doctor had turned off the machine and turned to my wife and I and said, "There's a problem." He told us that our baby-to-be was dramatically underweight. That they didn't realize until that moment just how bad it was. He told us that they're not sure he's going to be able to make it. And that if he makes it, that there's a chance that he may have a problem that would afflict him for the rest of his life. There were so many questions. He said a whole bunch of other things, but frankly, I don't even remember because I got so terrified by what he had said. My wife and I had to go to the hospital over and over again leading up to his birth. We spent a lot of time in the waiting room at that hospital, and as a terrified father, I had one coping mechanism, which was I would plant myself in front of the TV and just stare at the TV while I wait for them to call us into the room. That's what helps prevent me from thinking terrible thoughts. And I remember one day staring up at the TV, and the only thing on the TV was the news. And the only thing on the news around this time last year was the Republican effort in Congress that was trying to make it harder for those that need health care to be able to get. And I remember staring up at that TV, and who do I see pop up on the screen? And who do I see, whose face do I see come up and talk about how he saved this bill from the dead? Was able to get past the amendment that got the Freedom Caucus on board to get enough votes. It was my own representative, Congressman Tom McCarthy. That the representative of this district that gave me and my family every opportunity in life was now the one person in this country that was leading the charge to try to get that bill passed through. He wasn't just a yes vote like 216 others. He wrote it, has his name on it, the McCarthy wrote it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this is the guy that came up with the idea of gutting pre-existing condition protections, put in place an age tax for Americans over 50 so that they could end up paying 6 to 8 times more than younger Americans. I turned to my wife and I said, if we get through this, if our baby is born, if he is stable, if he is healthy and our family can move forward, I promise I'm going to do everything I can to hold that man accountable for what he just did. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And that's what this is all about. It's not just about policies on a piece of paper. It's about people's lives, and that's what's at risk. That in Tom MacArthur, we have someone who I believe is the worst of what I hate about Washington. I told you what he did on health care. He was also the only member of Congress from New Jersey to vote yes on that tax bill. All the other Republicans voted against and said it would hurt New Jersey families. Tom MacArthur stood alone. He was the only member of Congress from New Jersey to co-sponsor the concealed carry reciprocity gun legislation that would leave our state open to people from states that have lax gun laws to be able to come on. This is the kind of person he is. In a district that voted for Obama twice, a district with 13,000 more Democrats registered than Republicans, he votes 94% in line with President Trump. people in my district are sick of this. And that's what this campaign is. Trying to build up the kind of campaign that would be able to go up and hold him accountable for what he did. But you can't win unless you show up and fight. The Democrat that ran for this seat in 2016 only raised $600. MacArthur essentially ran unopposed in that election, and you're not going to be able to win unless you build up a real campaign. So what I'm here today is to tell you that we're building a campaign that makes us proud and hopefully makes you proud. And I hope you see in this campaign a tangible way that you can get involved in November, a tangible way that you can have an impact on the future of this state, the future of this country, the future for your family. We have raised well over $1.5 million on this campaign already. We raised that from tens of thousands of people in all 50 states. And when I call people in other states, Wyoming, Hawaii, California, I ask them, why did you get to this race in Jersey? Do you have family here? Or, did you drive through the turnpike once or something? What's going on? And what they tell me is that I gave to you because what Tom MacArthur did doesn't just hurt people in New Jersey, it hurts people all over this country. That's what we're up against. That right now, our state is in the national spotlight. That we could very well determine the fate of what happens this November. That the control over the House could very well come down to what happens in the New Jersey 3rd Congressional District. That's why I'm here today, because I need your help. We have over 1,200 volunteers lined up already in the district. We are going to put together the largest get-out-the-vote operation in South Jersey history. We are putting together a campaign that is phenomenal, and we've already had a lot of great progress already because the latest independent poll numbers show that I'm down by 1 point. I want to leave with just one last story, if you don't mind, because people often ask, well, it can't just be about what you're against. It can't just be about our frustrations and concerns about what's happening. Why are you able to do this? Why do you have hope that we can do better? Why do you have hope that when you go to Washington, you can get things on a better path? I'll share with you this one last story. Well, a young woman at an event several months ago asked me a question. What was your best and worst day working in government? What was your best and worst day working at the White House? And I thought about it. I've never been asked this question before. And I thought about it, and I said, it's actually the same day. That there's this one day in my career that stands out above all else. It was in August 2014. To set the stage for you, that was the summer when ISIS was stampeding across the Middle East, taking over huge swaths of land, that they were massacring people left and right, millions of people were at risk. I was working at the White House as the Iraq director there, and I was working on a lot of the decision making on what we're going to be able to do to be able to stop this threat. Morning in August 2014 started with an intelligence briefing to me, where they told me that tens of thousands of people, known as the Yazidi people, were being massacred and chased by ISIS. They were fleeing out from their villages, and that they had fled to the top of a mountain called Sinjar Mountain. I was told that tens of thousands of Yazidis were now trapped on top of this mountain without food, without water, without shelter, and with ISIS in hot pursuit. And the assessment by our experts was that if nothing were to happen, in 24 to 48 hours, we would likely see the genocide of the Yazidi people, that we would see the largest massacre of humans since World War II. That's how the day started. I went and briefed the White House Chief of Staff and the White House National Security Advisor about what we had heard. And they told me, you need to get a plan together that we bring to the Oval Office by 6 p.m. Over the following hours, I took the best and the brightest people I had worked with, hardest working people in government, that I knew were committed to trying to do the right thing. Locked us in the Situation Room in the basement of the White House, and we tried to do everything we could to come up with a plan. We were calling experts all over the globe, military leaders, humanitarian assistance leaders, to try to come up with a plan. After a lot of hard work, we had a plan ready by 6 p.m. And I walked that plan from one flight of steps up to the Oval Office. We walked in, briefed the President of the United States, and within 15 minutes, we had the green light to go ahead with the operation. And within 24 hours of that moment, we had U.S. military cargo planes dropping tens of thousands of pounds of food, water, shelter material on top of this mountain, on the other side of the world, deep in enemy territory during the middle of the night. All while we had U.S. military fighter jets overhead, keeping ISIS at bay and working to create a humanitarian corridor where people can get off that mountain. 24 hours. That's what we were able to accomplish. It was extraordinary. And why I tell you that story is because on that day, in that Situation Room, in that Oval Office, I saw a government that can inspire. I saw the kind of government that would make you proud, the kind of government that you deserve. And when I think about it, I try to think about what happened on that day that allowed us to get so much done, where we could literally move mountains if we wanted to. And I thought about the conversations that we had in the Oval Office and the Situation Room, and I remembered that at no point during that day was anyone asking, is that a Democrat idea or is that a Republican idea? At no point during that day was anyone asking, who's going to get credit for this? How is this going to help us with our next election? People were just focused in on getting the job done. And it reminded me of my time out in Afghanistan. When I served out there, nobody asked me if I was a Democrat or Republican. That's the furthest thing from your mind when you're out there. You're just trying to work together on a common cause, on a common mission. That's the kind of government we need. That's the kind of leadership we need in Washington. But we all know that we are so far away from that right now. But the only way we're going to be able to get towards that is by doing this district by district. You're not going to get good government unless you have good people working in government. So what I promise you today, and I hope it comes across to you, is that I'm doing this because I'm the son of the Jersey 3rd Congressional. I'm the father of 2 baby boys. I'm dedicating my entire career to serving this country, and I want to do that for the rest of my career. I can't think of anything more honorable than trying to serve this country and do it in a way that trying to help save lives, trying to make a difference about what we're trying to get. We recognize that this is the single most important election that our congressional district has ever been a part of. And I hope that you join us in this fight over the next 5 months, because this is a fight that we can win. This is a fight that we will win, but most importantly, this is a fight we must win. And I can't do it alone. I need your help. That these are the types of efforts that get us moved forward. This event came together by the work of Mitch and others we had connected with before. And this is how we keep building this out going forward. So what I say is, if you are excited about what we're trying to do, if you think that this is a tangible way you want to get involved, help us out. Help us out. Think about 5 to 10 people who aren't in the room here today that you think will be excited about this. I'm happy to come back up. I'm happy to do everything we can to invite myself back to this beautiful bar, be able to come to your lovely town, and be able to talk to you about how we can work together to build a better future. Thank you so much for coming out here today.